Another great interview from the Paul Barron Network, of course. Also one of my favorites, Mickle. Guys, I just need you all to pay attention to what Mickle is saying on this interview, okay, guys? Something that I've been trying to make very clear. Okay? He said that the stablecoin market has been tapped when it comes down to DeFi. Okay, we have many stablecoins that are being offered, right, or being utilized for DeFi. But in particular, right, we're talking about regulated spaces now. We're talking about institutional and corporate business. Okay, this is where I believe RLUSD, because it has the highest clarity in the land, this will be the difference in between many of the stablecoins that are being listed on these networks and RLUSD. Okay, as I said, once again, there will be a difference as far as what stablecoins are used in unregulated spaces, right? And more so of DeFi. And then when you talk about institutional, when you talk about corporate, and you talk about regulated spaces that need compliance at a highest level, at its highest level, this is where you will find RLUSD being utilized the most. Okay, guys? Hence why the infrastructure, which is the XRP ledger, will possibly be the most sought out when you talk about institutions, corporations, when you talk about governments, when you talk about other nations and entities. Long story short, RLUSD will be the best option and the safest option for these institutions, the asset managers, the corporations, guys, you name it, to hedge or at least store their value in a stable coin. Okay, RLUSD. Let's get to the interview, y'all.
Where Ripple is right there at 63, even to where Athena's holding on a volume at 77. What do you think about RLUSD getting a much more adoption this year?
Yeah, I think a huge part of it actually goes to the clarity bill. I think if you take a look at where there's large adoption in stable coins right now, a lot of it is more on the DeFi side. I think a lot of what stable coins are being used for right now is in the DeFi market, which is a lot less regulated than other markets and a lot of on-chain volume. But Ripple's always targeted those regulated financial institutions, and I think that's going to be a huge appeal to them. I think if you look at Ripple's kind of offering they're building on custody, on prime, on brokerage side, the stablecoin fits right into it. And I think Ripple's largest customer, Ripple's largest market is really yet to be tapped. Like a lot of people see a lot of these stable coins as like, oh, one winner, like whatever. I think there's going to be multiple winners in this space. And I think the DeFi market stablecoin is a little bit more tapped than that institutional grade corporate sort of stablecoin. And I think that's exactly where Ripple's stepping in. So I think clarity is only going to be a really important thing and a huge adoption driver for RLUSD. As a lot of these financial institutions say, I want the highest quality, most premium reserve I can have on the stablecoin. I think a mix between that and Ripple's integration on custody and a lot of these other institutionally focused products builds an ecosystem out for them that makes it really easy for them to step into something like RLUSD. You can look at the Ripple's national charter for a bank. They're one of the only people to have that. Almost every stablecoin rating agency has RLUSD as the highest rated stablecoin. And I think those things are going to make a huge difference for that next adoption wave to more regulated financial institutions.
Well, starting to accept. Did you see what Uphold announced this last weekend where they're actually favoring RLUSD over USDC in terms of yields?
No, but that's incredible. I hadn't seen that, but all of those things in conglomerate are only putting more pressure on financial institutions. And I kind of thought, in my opinion, the first major shot across the bow was when Coinbase IPO'd and was instantly larger than some of the longest standing legacy financial institutions out there.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that they are now no longer able to just deflect and say, oh, this is niche, people don't care about it. Like the market is valuing these cryptocurrency companies at huge premiums in comparison to what the legacy financial institutions demanded. And that's a huge issue for them because the money that these valuations drive all kinds of things. They can raise more money. They can be more powerful in DC. They can usher out quicker products. They can spend more money on advertising, bringing in more users. And it's becoming one of those things where before it was so easy to push it under the rug and say, oh, we don't do this. You should stay away from this. Mm-hmm. But now what they're finding is their clients and customers are just getting up and leaving and going somewhere else.
Sure.
I don't think they really have a choice anymore. I think now it's kind of one of those times where rather than being able to get positive PR by saying, oh, like, we don't do this, like, this is bad and all these things. Now that's turning into negative PR, and the positive PR is acceptance and saying, we're doing this. You don't have to go somewhere else. We're going to have a better version of it. And I think they have to, or they're going to be left in the dust and they're going to lose their customers.